All right, looks like we should be live here. Two-game slate once again. Um, Nothing we are not used to. Let me make sure I'm actually live. I think we should be good to go. Let me make sure on this. Oh yeah, there we go. Just popped up. All right, cool. So 2 games. Hope you guys had a good showing last night. It was good for me. I had a few near the top. It's something about these 2 game slates. It's just kind of all coming together. So we will try to do that once again tonight. And yeah, just an endless string of 2 game slates. I wish it was endless. Jumbo scored. Yeah, Jumbo did score. That's not a bad thing, right? All right, let me add the channel here. I'm running behind today. Just got off the baseball show. I have to thank you. Turned $80 into $1,100. Got second in and sixth in the $4.20 MME. The 20 max. Nice. That's awesome, man. That's really awesome. So, EMAC sending out a tweet for me. Thank you, EMAC. Me, not on loud so you guys don't hear it every time it goes off. I don't really get that many texts. It's a lot of notifications for DFS purposes more than anything. Lost 2K on that empty netter, was so pissed. Yeah, that's the thing on the 2 gamers, and really any NHL slate, but especially the short ones. When someone gets an empty netter, can swing the whole slate. If there's only 8 or 10 goals scored in total, that's a huge part of the pie. Burns, yeah, Burns was absolutely bananas. That's a good way to put it, Ryan. Burns is a stud. Don't listen to these guys like Bobby Boom that tells you Burns isn't worth it. Some nights he's not going to be worth it, but same thing with everyone. He's got this bias. Some people just have these bias against these expensive defensemen. Burns is expensive because he's going to do that for you every once in a while. And on his quote-unquote bad nights, he's probably going to get you 4 or 5 DK points. And you can live with that. You can live with that. Okay. Thornton was nutty too. He scored a goal, got an assist. I mean, dude, LeBanc is a stud. I talked about him yesterday. I wish I ended up on more of him after watching him. I was like, man, this guy's going to score a goal. LeBanc, and maybe he's just in a perfect situation, but man, is that guy skilled. So just remember that one. I mean, he's playing so well. That third line's playing really well. Thornton looks good. I mean, he's slow, but he looks fine. Looks like he still belongs, which is pretty cool to see. So, today we have the Stars, Blues, Blue Jackets, Bruins, nothing we haven't seen. We just saw these guys play a couple days ago. So I do have the expected ownerships. Well, basically what I did is I took the ownerships from the last slate and uploaded them onto FC, Fantasy Cruncher. And it was Marchand 41%, Bergeron 40%, Pasternak 34%. So that was before Pasta was even playing on the top line. I think they don't have Daily Faceoff doesn't have him listed there. All right, we'll talk about that in a second. Because Pasternak was skating with Bergeron and Marchand on the top line this morning. I see a few of you already did. They already gave me a like. That is very much appreciated. If you guys could do that, it makes me look good. It makes us look good. It helps us continue to do this kind of content for free. So if you do like it, feel free to click the thumbs up. Yeah, that really does help us out. Okay. Am I forgetting anything about last night? I don't think so. Probably going to get out of here at 2:30 Eastern at the latest, because got to see line rushes pregame skate for Stars. Blues, I don't expect any changes there, but there could be some weird stuff going on in the other game. So let's go through this. Stars, Blues, 2.4 implied total for the Stars, 2.6 for the Blues. Ben Bishop, Jordan Binnington in net for their teams. We have the O'Reilly line likely going to go up against Dallas 1. St. Louis is coming off a win. They're not going to change a lot. I wouldn't think coaches are superstitious. They're going to try to do the exact same thing they did in Game 1. So that's what's nice about the Game 2s. We kind of know which matchups to expect. And same thing in Game 4. So we have something to go off of. And it was O'Reilly hard matching against Sagan, Ben, and Radulov. For me, it's a pretty even matchup. I think I still give the edge to the O'Reilly line. They did an okay job against them. Not great. The real line that was really awesome in that Blues game, all game, was the Schenn, Schwartz, Sundqvist line. So the second line I really, really like for the Stars. The top line I like quite a bit. And if I'm going to Dallas, it's going to be a lot of Sagan, Radulov, Ben. It's just going to be a lot of the top line. Again, 3-2-1s, 3-3s. I'm running a handful of different sorts of lineups, so it doesn't have to be Dallas 1 or nothing. I'll have some Sagan one-offs. I'll have probably some Radulov one-offs. Ben will be the guy that gets played the most in a stack, it would appear so far for me. I want to play the full line for for St. Louis 1 when I can. The guy that will get one-offed, there's two guys. It'll be Tarasenko, one of the best raw point plays on the slate, in my opinion. And then I like Perron a lot. He didn't do a ton last game, but he's capable of these multi-goal performances. And the numbers were fine for St. Louis 1. They were leading a lot of the game, so they didn't really need to push as much offensively. I still would expect them to have great numbers in this series from a Corsi standpoint, and scoring chances, all that stuff. So once again, favor the Blues in this game. I favor the Blues in this series. So same matchups as the first game. Would expect O'Reilly, Perron, and Tarasenko to go up against Dallas 1, and the second and third lines go up against each other. If I'm going to a third line, it is going to be the Bozak line, all on the top, or all on the second power play, and it's full power play correlation. So I don't really see anything wrong with them. They do have good numbers. They were good in the first game, not great from what I remember. So I will have some St. Louis 1, St. Louis 3 stacks. The only Josh stack I'm probably going to have of the Dallas Stars is the top 6. Klingberg, even though I'm not super wild about Dallas as a team on this slate, I do have a lot of Klingberg. Played 30 minutes last game almost. So if they're down in this game, he's going to be on the ice a ton. He's right now my highest exposed defenseman. I would expect that to be the case, or very close to it, up there with guys like Jones and Krug. Klingberg, you play players that are correlated to other very good players. And Klingberg's good by himself, but with Sagan and Ben, probably Radulov on the power play. Hard to kind of get away from him at just 5,200. Pietrangelo, I'm not ending up on a ton of Pietrangelo, which is worrisome. I will try to force him in if I'm getting like 10%. I think that's too little. The other guys I'm looking at are actually Gunnarsson. I do like Gunnarsson quite a bit, and I think I need to bump him up in my projections because he's not coming up for me all that much. But he was aggressive in the first game, and I think he played almost 20 minutes. So he's going to be a guy that I play a little bit of. I don't think you're going to need to go wild with Carl Gunnarsson, but he's playing with Pietrangelo at 5-on-5, and that's obviously a recipe for some pretty good minutes. Let me change Gunnarsson. All right, so I remember to do that. I'll upload projections right after the show. Or you could just bump up Gunnarsson if you don't want to wait. I wouldn't go wild with him, but if you get 8 to 10% of him, that is a pretty solid option. You could do worse for 2,500. They need to move Radulov up to PP1. They had him in at the end of the game. I would assume he's going to be on the top power play. Just stack the power play. I don't understand. The secondary guys I'm looking at for the Stars defenseman crew would be Lindell and Hiskinen, the guys in the second power play. Honestly, I'm pretty much, you kind of take your pick there. They're priced right next to each other. Hiskinen, probably the more raw talent, but he doesn't really shoot all that much. I'd love to see him be more aggressive. So Hiskinen's fine, Lindell's fine. I don't have a big difference between the two as far as DFS goes today. Yeah, just once again, I prefer the Stars top 9. I like Dallas 1. I think they were maybe, let's see where they were at last game. Sagan was only 31%. I think that's too low for him. And I think probably, 21 is way too low for Radulov. So I'm probably going to be over on those two guys. I don't know where I'm going to come in on Ben. He was 26% in the $10 2 nights ago. Might be a little bit under. Might try to leave him off or he'll get left off because he doesn't grade out as that great of a raw point play compared to Sagan and Radulov. Okay. Other game. Blue Jackets, Bruins. We have a 2.6 implied total for the Blue Jackets, 2.9 for the Stars. Sergei Bobrovsky going up against Tuukka Rask. Weird stuff going on in this game. Doesn't look like Daily Faceoff is going to fix it before. So Daily Faceoff is what Cruncher goes by. So if you are on Cruncher and you want to have correct correlation, at least how they're going to start the game, Pasternak skated with Bergeron and Marchand this morning at practice. And then we had Heinen on the second line. So those two flipped. Would it be shocking if they flip back? No, but if you go Bergeron, Marchand, Pasternak, like I always say, you're going to get a way different sort of lineup than Bergeron, Heinen, Marchand. So if you do this, you're gonna see lineups like this on Cruncher. People don't confirm. They'll plug this into Cruncher, and you're going to be able to get a Sagan, a Radulov, and you could probably even go Ben and figure that out. With Pasternak, that's not possible. So you're just going to get a way different lineup, which is exactly what you want, especially on a 2-game slate where there's only so much differentiation you can have. Well, if you have the right line combo and a lot of other people don't, you're already at an advantage long term. I mean, it may not work out tonight, but you make that switch, I think, basically every time you make that switch. And it's weird that Pasternak would skate on the top line because Heinen, I mean, they had a 17-1 shot attempts for versus against in game 1 with Bergeron, Marchand, and Heinen. So it's not like they couldn't generate. They didn't score. Would not expect that to be the case in this game. I would expect the Bruins to do a good amount of scoring at some point during the series. I know Bobrovsky is tough, but it was the third line that did the damage, oddly enough. Coyle. So, speaking of, Bergeron and Marchand and Pasternak are likely going to be my 3 highest exposed players on the entire slate. Bergeron nearly a lock to be the highest exposed player. I mean, he just grades out so well. I don't care about the lack of recent results. Maybe he's a little bit nicked up. I still don't care. He's too cheap at 6,800 for a 2-game slate, even with the soft pricing. So him and Marchand and Pasternak, not only are they expensive, but they also grade out as very good values for me. And it looks like for Alex outside of Bergeron. So that would be the only one I disagree on from a value standpoint. We just got an MLB projections or ownership update, it looks like. So go do that if you are a premium member. If you're not a premium member, what are you waiting for? Promo code Hit the Ice gets you 50% off your first month of Awesemo.com premium. So I got my MLB early lineups in. There's no changing them now. There's no going back. Let me actually make sure that those uploaded correctly. They did. Perfect. There's my MLB crunches. Where are we at? All right. So Boston 1's going to be my highest exposed stack. Dallas 1 and St. Louis 1 behind by a good margin, it's looking like. And everyone else is just going to basically be sprinkled in. I hate this spot for the Blue Jackets. Could they win the game? Sure, but there's a lot of things going on here. First of all, I don't think it's a good matchup for any of the top two lines. Those are really the only lines I want to play. And we've got this thing going on with Ryan Zingle. It looks like he's going to be scratched tonight in favor of Wenberg, who I thought Columbus hated Wenberg. I thought Tortorella hated him. But Wenberg is very bad for DFS. Whatever line he plays on seems to just go missing. He never shoots. And because this is the later game, we don't know exactly what the lines are going to be. I mean, I could guess what the lines are going to be. I would think they're probably going to keep these three together and then keep Duchesne, Atkinson with, who knows? I mean, Jenner could move up and not play center because Wenberg's coming in. That's, I think, a decently likely scenario. What about HBO's piece on the NHL? I don't know. But anyways, Zingle looking like he's not going to play. So what I did was X him out. I would suggest you do the same. And just, you can always switch some stuff up later if you need to. But yeah, it's making it really tough for me to play any Blue Jackets in any substantial fashion because we just don't know what the lines are going to be like, and we do know what the lines are going to be like on other teams. So correlation doesn't matter as much on a two-gamer, so you could be okay playing like Duchesne and Atkinson. Even if they get split up, you're probably still fine. Those guys still have some upside by themselves. So I still want to get a decent amount of correlation in my lineups. So what I may do is just go Duchesne, Atkinson, and Jenner. That there's a possibility that's a line. There's a possibility it's Foligno, but at least with Jenner there, you'll end up with one of these Blue Jackets in your utility spot because you'll have double center. Plus, you can swap down from Jenner to Foligno or Zingle if he, for whatever reason, plays. And I'm not really playing too much of any of these Columbus lines, but the few that I do, I will be likely doing that and just reacting if I need to react once this game is over. Someone asked about Boston 4. Let's see what I have. I'm going to end up with some Corrali. I always end up with a few Corrali shares on these two-game slates because he's the kind of guy that will end up in, like, it'll be like a Corrali, Bergeron, Marchand stack where I'm trying to fit in a full other line. So you hope you get the empty net goal or kind of the shorty assist or something like that from a guy like Corrali, and then the rest of your lineup does a lot of work because if he gets you 5 DK points like he has a couple times lately at 1 or 2% ownership on a two-game slate, you're not only getting a way different lineup, you're also way ahead of the field because a lot of these guys are going to dud on a two-game slate, the guys up top. There was something else I was just going to say that escapes me now, but I do like Coyle once again. I was on him last game. It worked out pretty decently. 7.5 DK points, I think it was. Not expecting the same thing again, but I much prefer Boston's side of this. I think they're a better team by a good margin, and there's just very few matchups I see that are great for the Blue Jackets. So if you want to go Duchesne, Atkinson, Jenner, like I'm probably going to do, or just Duchesne, Atkinson, that's fine. You could go PLD, Bjorkstrand, and Panarin. I think that line is the most likely to stay together, but I'm just hesitant to do anything crazy with the Blue Jackets Plus, I don't really like the spot for the Blue Jackets. So if this were like a 5 or 6 game slate, they would probably not end up on really any of my lineups outside of Seth Jones and maybe Werenski. But you got to play someone from these guys. I'm forcing in stacks or mini stacks from basically every team based on how I'm doing my exposure. So they'll be in my lineups, but I think just take the talented players as one-offs or two-mans if you're struggling to try it, but you have to get Blue Jackets in. Cam is still your favorite one-off from the Blue Jackets? I think so. I think he would be my favorite one-off for the Blue Jackets. It's like they're campaigning to remove fights and rough play. Fights and rough play is the reason I played hockey. That'd be the reason I would not play hockey. I'm a baby though, so who knows? Should have known it was coming when they did the rainbow stick thing. What's wrong with the rainbow stick thing? I don't even know what that refers to, but anyways, once again, you can play McAvoy with Bergeron, Marchand, and Pasternak. He's cheaper than Krug. He's going to get you a different lineup than Krug for the people that just power play stack. McAvoy doesn't grade out that well for me, but from a correlation standpoint, I think he's actually a really solid play. And actually, I do think I messed up McAvoy's projections. Let me fix that, and I will update as soon as I get off. Of this show that I'm doing for you guys. Actually, let me just do this right now. I don't want to show anything I'm not supposed to show. So I think I'm going to go away for a second. Yep, I'm going to go away like that. You just see the Osmo logo. And then I'm going to update this. So anyone that's trying to crunch throughout the show. Wait, who am I looking at? Why is... All right. Where did McAvoy go? Right here? All right. There's McAvoy. All right. So his number is going to come up a little bit. And then I think there were a couple other guys that I bumped up just a bit. As soon as I upload this, I will put the screen share back on. I don't know what of this I'm supposed to share and what I'm not, but it's not a really secretive process, I don't think, but I've never done this during a show, so all right, I think we're back. I think you guys can see that again. Yep, you can see it again. You still in that chair since yesterday's show? I have left it a couple times. JD Martinez scratched Saturday. Waiting to see the Atkinson-Marchand fight. That's not going to happen. You still in that chair since yesterday's show? That is a good question, bots. No, I've left it. But I have done 5 shows in the matter of, 28 hours since yesterday's MLB strategy show. I did strategy yesterday, did the MLB strategy, NHL strategy, live before lock, MLB strategy this morning, and NHL strategy. So you guys have seen a lot of me the past 27, 30 hours. So don't worry, I'll be gone all tomorrow. You won't see any of my face. I'll be back Monday. Yeah, did you see Marchand stomp on Atkinson's stick? I did see that. I mean, I don't know what that did. I don't know how that helped him besides just make Atkinson mad, which is what he likes to do. I don't know. Marchand is a really, really good player. He doesn't need to do that, but if that's what makes him play better, then at least he's not taking guys' heads off and, going knee to knee on purpose on guys anymore. This year. Rather have that stupid stuff than the dirty stuff that hurts guys. Thanks, bots. I'd love a spot at the table. As long as he's not licking guys. See, it's just like, what is he doing? I don't get it. But he's just a weird dude. He does whatever he can to get inside the heads of other players. And I guess it works sometimes. He doesn't really need to do that. He's a really freaking awesome player. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff that makes people hate you. And he's kind of earned that. Okay. So, we've talked about this slate. Boston won, going to be my highest exposed. St. Louis won, very close behind. Someone asked who's going to score a hat trick. I just said David Perron. I don't know. I feel like it's Perron's time today. I think he's going to score a couple times. I mean, I hope it's Bergeron because he's my highest exposed player, and that'd be nice to have a hat trick for your highest exposed player. But for some weird reason, I think Perron is going to score a couple. So if he doesn't, just send your hate tweets my way. The 98% chance that he doesn't. Yeah, exactly. That you guys are exactly right. Bots and Ryan. Yeah, he's like a way better Andrew Shaw. That's good. You guys convinced me I need to run at least one St. Louis player, even though I'm a Dallas fan. Oh, I still hope Stars crush tonight. Yeah. Well, you got to have at least one hedge lineup, like emotional hedge, right? So you're a Stars fan. Make one Blues, like 5 or 6 man stack. And in case you your Stars get run over, then you still have that Blues lineup, right? Goalie spread out. Yeah, I'll read off my exposures here. I'm fairly certain it's spread out. Not as spread out. Binnington, Bishop, Bobrovsky, Rask in that order. Everyone above 20%. Binnington at 36. Then Bishop 23, Bobrovsky 21, Rask 20. Rask is just expensive. That's the issue with him. I mean, I think St. Louis and Boston win these games more often than not. But Rask is also my lowest exposed goalie by 1%. It's just a price thing. That's the only thing. Bobrovsky's price, he grades out much better as a one-off because if the Blue Jackets do sneak this game out, very good chance that Bobrovsky is the highest scoring goalie, and he's 7,300. And that's obviously a big deal. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate that. I think we had a lot of transparent people here, honestly. I don't know, I think everybody does a good job of trying to explain themselves, but I'm glad you think that. They're not getting run over, Jake. Come on, it's going to be a grind. No, that's what I'm saying, but if they do get run over, then at least you have that one lineup. Blues onslaught in the DK showdown. Should we look at the showdown slate? Do we have showdown pricing? We don't have showdown pricing in here. I don't know. I'm assuming. I mean, showdown's tough. I like to MME showdown. If you can do that, I would suggest doing that. Mini stacking or having one stack and just kind of filling in one-offs around them. Or, just having some teams with a stack plus a goalie, having some teams with a 2-man plus a defenseman plus a goalie. I think there's a ton of different ways to attack showdown, and I think it lends itself more to MME play. At least for me, I'm no showdown expert or anything, but I had a couple guys message me or DM me about being solid for or doing well in showdown using my projections. So I'm glad. Plus EMAC, of course. EMAC's sending me screenshots every other night with 100, 300% ROI. Okay, I don't watch hockey and know nothing about it. Let's get it. Well, that's the great thing. You don't have to know everything or even close to everything to be solid at NHL DFS, I don't think. Sure, it helps. Where's a good site to check lines for the day? Fantasy Cruncher, if you have that, has the lines in it. Otherwise, Daily Faceoff or Left Wing Lock are the two. But I will say, while it's nice to have those resources, they are sometimes wrong, or they're sometimes not updated. So what you're going to want to do is follow this list. I'm going to go to Bots' Twitter list, and he is nice enough that he's got a public list for all of us where NHL, it's called NHL Beat Writers. I'm going to post a link to it in chat. Go subscribe to this list. You're going to want to do that. It's got all the information for the beat writers. Open this up before 20, 30 minutes before a game starts, and make sure you catch the lines that are the combinations that are happening during or for the game. Wow, easy for me to say, huh? Okay. Said I was going to be out here at 2:30 Eastern, right? So if anybody's got anything more for me on the 2-gamer, feel free to hit me up. If not, we can be done, and I'll let you guys make your lineups. Or maybe you've already made your lineups. If you have, maybe you've already selected the nuts. I kind of hope this, I really hope this stays like this, and just us. We just see it, that Pasternak was with Marchand and Bergeron. So it's always nice to get an edge that way, especially on a short slate where you got to differentiate and make suboptimal plays, but this would be an optimal play anyways. Good luck, boys. Yeah, good luck to you. Boston 3 and 4 sneaky. I agree. I like all of the Boston lines, really. I'm more likely on the fourth line to take a one-off or maybe a two-man, but I like Corrali the best for what it's worth. CBJ lines the same? No. That's what we were talking about, Tyler. So if you missed it, Zingle is going to be scratched, it looks like. What I'm doing is keeping CBJ1 together, hoping they somehow stick, and then Duchesne, Atkinson, and I'm going to put Jenner in because he's 3,900. He's going to allow you to have a utility spot, so you can swap. And there's a decent chance that Jenner's in because Jenner moves to wing because Wenberg's coming in. There's also a decent chance Foligno moves up there, but Jenner's the more expensive one, so you could always swap down to Foligno if need be, or whatever they do if they go Texier. I have no idea what Columbus is going to do, and I don't really like them, which is the main thing. So hard for me to want to try to figure that out too much if I don't like the spot that much for them in the first place. All right. Yeah, they traded for Zingle to sit in the playoffs. Smart move. Well, I mean, everyone knows Tortorella is the smartest guy in the room 100% of the time. He's never been wrong. So he does this stupid stuff for who knows why. Okay. Thanks for the insight. Go enjoy your weekend finally, Jake. Yeah, what weekend? We got DFS to talk about. No, I will enjoy the weekend, though. Saturday night to Sunday night is usually the weekend. So that's when I have my fun. And then I wake up on Sunday and play some DFS. Hang with the family. Yeah, good luck to you, too, as well. Good luck to you, too, I should say, Jeff. Can we see your crunches? It wouldn't really matter if you saw them right now. I have exposures, but they're not 100% correct. So I didn't make a rule that I usually make anyways. Probably see an MLB show if you're on, sir. I am on nothing tomorrow. Nothing for the rest of the night. I am on Monday, live before lock. Gets an Uber X for his friend, starts making lineups. Yeah, the Uber X. No, Black Car UMAC. No, she's there's only one lady. There's only one friend. So She doesn't need an Uber. She'll hang around. Um, yeah, no Ubers needed to be called. EMAC. DFS greater than ladies. Yeah, don't tell her that. But I agree. No. EMAC is hilarious. I agree. All right. Getting Twitter notifications, making sure no one's. All right, cool. Okay. Thanks for joining, guys. Sorry it was a quick show. Saturday night, bath night. Nice. I can get behind that. In the future, I'll try to go 45 to an hour, but there's just not that much to talk about because we just saw this matchup a couple days ago. So good luck. Play good plays still. Don't stack a third line and a fourth line together. You still need the raw points. Just do some 3-2-1. Switch up your lineup construction across your lineups would be my advice. And I will see you back Monday. No shows tomorrow. So this is the last of the 5 shows in a 30-hour span. But I'll see you guys soon. Don't miss me too much, right? All right, good luck, guys.